This is the Infinite Podcast with me, Ulf Tøndeflittig.
And me, Øystein Rabbe.
We're here to go into the unknown and to discover the great secrets of our universe and everything. And we're going to share them with... Who are we going to share them with?
I don't know. Maybe the listeners?
Yeah, that sounds like a great idea.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, so this episode is the second live episode we're doing with the Wake Up Show.
Yes.
This time around, I'm all alone in the studio.
You are.
Don't
But
even have a
I'm with
guest.
you on video.
You're with
Pre-recorded.
me on pre-recorded video. I have some...
Yes. That you didn't listen to.
I didn't get the audio. But you guys will get the audio.
Yeah.
It'll work for you guys.
Yes.
We're talking about the lungs of Mother Earth and yawning.
Yes.
Yeah, get that yawn going on.
Yes.
Enjoy.
Welcome to the Wake Up Show. We're back at another episode, and good morning for you Norwegian people, and good afternoon in Australia, and in San Francisco we say good evening. We're looking forward to host you for another hour, and as you can see, I'm not here in the studio today, but I'm actually on my balcony. And it's kind of a bit chilly, which is a good thing sometimes in the morning, to really like to feel alive. What we need sometimes is to start our bodies, and what is better than some cold air? So anyway, I wanted to tell you something. I want to remind you about something vital, which is breath. So, before we start this amazing show, I want you to take a few deep breaths with me. So, on my count, fill your lungs, hold it for a bit, and feel how your body relaxes, how you kind of cleanse everything. Have your feet on the ground and take another one. And one more, and we're good. So just feel it and have a think about it, how important it is to breathe. If we tend to forget in our stressful day, and we tend to forget, what about Mother Earth? This place we're staying for a bit, she is also breathing in her own way, and her breathing is actually helping us breathe. So I think we might gonna talk about that in this episode actually. We'll see. So okay, I'm wishing you a good show. I'm gonna watch it from afar because I'm traveling. So, enjoy.
There we go. Yes. God damn it. So I gotta admit something that, like, I used to be such a tech whiz, and then on a technical level, I've just been getting dumber and dumber. So when Rab is not around, this just seems like way above my pay grade. Good morning, good evening and good night to all of your people who are woken up. Are you awake? You present? Yeah, so I did not hear a word of what Rabbe said in his intro. I hope it was good. I guess it was profound and deep, and hopefully he didn't... Well, whatever he said must have been wonderful. I hope you enjoyed it. So, theme of this episode is lungs of Mother Earth. And, well, I guess lungs are used for breathing. And Mother Earth is sort of like the place where we live. That's kind of cool. And so... Well, this is our second episode, and already we're doing the lungs. That's pretty amazing. Now, I'm still a bit baffled at all the technological aspects of this. Is this actually coming through? What do you think? I don't even know how I can check that. We can hear you fine. Okay, well that's good. Thanks, Rabbe. Let's get back to business. So, the theme, the lungs of Mother Earth. I guess first thing that comes to mind is the Amazon, because the Amazon is trees, and trees produce oxygen, right? And we humans need oxygen to live. It's crucial to our survival, I guess, with water. And now the Amazon is burning. That sounds horrible. I guess we're screwed then. I guess we just have to pack up and go somewhere else. Next planet. Now, it does seem to me that on a regular basis we will find some sort of crisis to latch onto, like some big unsolvable problem that's just so unsurmountable that we just become, we'll just regress into doing nothing, because it just, what can we do? And now I think one side is so the mere the physical aspect of it all is, of course, so there is a fire. So you could put out the fire and the fire will be extinguished and things will be fine. But I think we have to go deeper than that. Why is there a fire? And obviously there might be a multitude of reasons for there to be a fire in the Amazon right now, or lots of fires. But an important thing to remember is that fires in the forest is actually quite natural. And it's a part of nature's way of actually cleaning up. It's a, how do we say, it's a death rebirth ritual that it seems like planet Earth, Mother Earth has running. And I do believe it was I do enjoy listening to Jordan B. Peterson, and he talked about wildfires and the fact that we humans, we want to control everything, right? You like to control everything. Well, I do at least. And letting go of that control, it can be hard. It can be, seem almost as impossible as saving the environment. Now, thing is, wildfires are a natural part of the cleaning process of the forest. So if there's a wildfire and you put it out, the forest will not get the cleaning up it needs. So for every time you put out the fire will get bigger and bigger and bigger. And at one point, there's so much rubble and, dead trees and just, flammable objects on the ground level of the forest, that when there is a fire, it's going to be a fire so massive that it'll just burn the soil. So nothing will grow there for years. And I think it sort of relates to the fact that we do tend to. It comes from a good place, right? You just want to help. You just want to solve the problem. Then it turns out that it wasn't a problem. It was things were working them out by themselves, and you actually got in your own way. Now, it might obviously also be the case that people are behind the malevolent forces want to destroy the rainforest for profit. Well, that might also be the case. And, well, what can we do about that? Could we put all the blame on them and saying these horrible people are destroying our planet, or could we look to ourselves and actually see what are we doing to our planet? How are we treating our lungs? Now, because you see, the planet is your larger self, both metaphorically and, well, literally, because you're actually living on the thing. And Earth is a living thing. I don't know if you noticed, things are growing, things are being born, and things are dying. All of these things are quite natural. And we humans like to interfere, because that's what we do, we solve problems, problem solvers. But very often it's sensible to take a step back and try to get a bigger view of the situation and see if you can actually, see what you can do, should do, and maybe even what you don't have to do. And, well, it all draws back to the Earth joke, right? For all of you viewers who saw episode 1, we had great fun telling the 2 planets joke. Now, the core of the 2 planets joke is the fact that humans are a plague, that we are destroyers, that we infect. Now, from that point of view, it's really hard being a human being. Because, well, everything you touch turns to shit. But it's just a matter of perspective, right? Because if you insist that humans are the problem, well then, watch Terminator 2 and you get the gist of it all. Then we need to be destroyed. But there is a different approach to this. It's that humans are the solution. We are the part of the equation that is necessary for this to actually be the good thing that it is. And I find it so interesting that we always tend to lean towards the bad self, the insufficient self, the world-destroying self. And I think it's time we wake up and see that we are not that. We are not the problem. We are not the burner of forest. We are the keeper of the forests. We are the tenders of the garden. Because Earth is a garden. And I don't know, there's this good old book, the Bible book, where I believe, you jump ahead a bit, you have the whole creation story, and then Adam and Eve are in the Garden of Eden. It's a wonderful place. And then they get kicked out for eating from this tree of wisdom. The knowledge of good and evil. And that's right, we do have the knowledge of good and evil. But that does not necessarily make us evil. It does not at all make us evil. It makes us good. And we have an infinite capacity to do good towards each other, towards the planet, towards ourselves. But we tend to forget that. And I'm here to remind you that you are good, that it's all good. And that it's easy to focus on external problems like forests on fire. But then again, if you look at the bigger picture, it's okay for the forest to be on fire. Obviously, it might be the case that it's a man-created problem. But at the same time, forest fires are very natural and they're okay. And it all goes back to how we treat ourselves. Don't treat yourself like shit. You treat the planet like shit. You treat your people around you. That's going to make it a shitty place. And we're not living in a shitty place. We're living in the Garden of Eden, and it's time we wake up and smell the grass. I do believe it was also Jordan Peterson speaking about this, a natural disaster. And how the fact that when nature intervenes with us, with human behavior, we tend to blame nature. Which I think goes to us taking responsibility for our actions. And I believe his example was with a flood, but also with this fire thing. Now, up here in the West, we've been enjoying the benefits of capitalism and of this money-based society that we're living in. And we've been buying our goods from other countries, looking the other way as to where these things come from and how they're produced and whether that's beneficial for the people making them or the place it's being made. Now you see, you don't have to send money to the rainforest to save the rainforest. You can save the rainforest by making a conscious decision as to what you want to put your energy into, where you want to put this fun bag of money. It's that's where you can make a difference, is with yourself, right? Makes sense. Because it's easy, okay, so let's blame you'd blame Brazil. It's Brazil's fault. Or you can personalize it. It's Brazil's president's fault because he's not taking this seriously. But you're not the president of Brazil. Unless you're watching President of Brazil, then, well, then you can take care of whatever is in front of you right now. But for the rest of us, we can do our part by looking at ourselves. Stop pointing the finger at everyone else. Start looking at yourself. Because that's where the magic is. And that's where the realization that you're actually an important part of the whole play. Because when you're pointing the finger outwards and talking about whomever, then you're just an extra in this magnificent play of life. And, well, insisting you're an extra when you're the main character, that's gonna put a dent in the movie, right? It's gonna make the movie unbearable to watch. And you're on front row, enjoying your adventure, insisting that you're just some extra with no lines hanging out in the background of the scene. You're the scene, man. You're the forests. Okay. So I've been rambling for a while, and Rabbe sent me another clip. Now, if Lord willing, I'm able to actually send this through, and maybe I can actually even listen to it. Okay, let's see now if I can if I can get this on the run, and wish me luck.
Okay, the interesting thing about breath is this is the fun joke that people tend to believe in, is this thing about, being tired and stuff, that yawning is sort of unpolite or something, that yawning means you're tired. What if it's not? What if that's just a common belief that is simply not true? Because why is it that yawning is kind of, if I'm yawning, you're probably gonna do it too. And that's magical, because it kind of is a way to force yourself to take a deep breath. And what happens when you take a deep breath? You cleanse the whole system. You let go of resistance in your body. You let go of kind of dense energies. So if you're taking a deep breath, if you're yawning, it doesn't mean you're tired. It means you're releasing something. So take away I'm inviting you to take away the misheld belief that yawning means you're tired. Yawning means you're living. So, and if you come into a room and you're the one yawning because you've been sitting still for 2 hours watching some presentation, it is not impolite to yawn. It is a service to your fellow beings. That's a bit better, right? So go about your day and do your yawnings, because people are gonna love you for it. Okay. Maybe not officially, but their energies are gonna love you for it. So, yeah. What do you think, Ulf?
Oh, that's me. Hello. Well, I guess yawning is infectious, and it's early in the morning, so that makes total sense. Thank you, Rabbi, for that beautiful insight on the fine art of the breath. Now, what do I think? Well, I guess I can share it with you guys. I think it's very, very true what Rabbi speaks of, like, in terms of the fact that we're breathing all the time, and it's breath that connects us with our higher self. And so actually taking a good breath. Oh, what the hell? I don't know. Technology. Some sound. I hope it didn't mess things up for you guys. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there. Remember to breathe, I guess. So breath is it's the most natural thing, right? It's what you do for your entire life. When you stop breathing, you're dead. So breathing means you're alive. And yawning is just getting that extra. It's a powerful breathing exercise. And I guess it's infectious because, well, we all need to connect to each other, and it's funny, right? Like when we see other people performing an action like yawning or smiling or being upset or angry, we tend to mimic and mirror that thing. We're just a bunch of mirrors. Mirrors walking around, mirroring each other. So what's that thing at the carnival? The room of mirror? Hall of mirrors? Like walking around there and you can't really tell what's your reflection and what's a pathway. I think it's like important to remember that, well, everyone you meet on your way is a mirror showing you aspects of yourself. People you perceive as succeeding show you your potential. People you see as failing show you your fears. People yawning show you that you need more air. So you breathe, the air comes in through your nostrils or your mouth, and they go in through here and into your lungs, and the lungs take the oxygen. And how does it even do that? Put the oxygen into the blood? Well, that's impressive. That's some impressive shit. Quite the feat. Yeah. It's it's interesting. Now I wish Rabbi was here. Someone to bounce off on, We don't even have a guest today. I wanted to have a guest today. I called some people. Couldn't, said it was too early. It's the wake-up show. Just have to wake up and then smell the coffee. I don't like coffee. It smells funny. That's ironic, right? It's supposed to be a good thing. I do like the smell of some types of coffee. But the taste of coffee just never appealed to me. Now, as a kid, and I would sit on my grandfather's lap, he would dip like a sugar cube in coffee and give me as a snack. Now that I could like, but I don't think it was the coffee. I think it was my grandfather's love and affection. I don't know. What do you think? What is it we really want when we're out saving the world, protesting the destruction of our rainforest, of our Mother Earth's lungs? Why is it so hard for us to see that what we're all craving is to be seen and to be loved by people around us? And they're mirrors, right? So what is it you really need is to love yourself unconditionally. Well, that's rough, right? Because you've done a lot of dumb stuff. Messed up a bunch of times. Why should you, of all people, have the benefits of unconditional love? No conditions? Gotta be a catch, right? That's the thing. There's no catch. It's a gift. It's the greatest gift you could ever give. No strings attached. That's kind of cool. No wanting anything in return. Just giving. I guess we could plant trees. I guess we could go to the Sahara Desert, plant some trees, see if we could save the planet from this plague called humanity. But we're not a plague. We're part of the whole thing. You're part of the whole thing. You're not separate. It's like the whole, what's the wave thing? Thinking you're a wave. You're the ocean. You're the whole thing. Right now you're a wave. Yesterday, my good friend Morten sent me this clip, this animation clip about a man dying, meeting God and realizing that this is just a playground, and that we're learning through experience, that we're growing for every incarnation, and that treating other people like shit is treating yourself like shit. And this doesn't even have to be true to you. But why on earth would you treat other people in such a way that you treat yourself? Because they're mirrors, right? So on a deeper level, when you're lashing out on some random person, that's you lashing out on yourself. And yourself falling short. The thing is, you can never fall short. You can never fail. Because this is your life. And it's a learning experience. And we do tend to forget how learning works. Through trial and error. Error is not a bad thing. Failure is not a bad thing. It's learning. So, when we're looking back at this period in time, like say 20 years from now, we could either say, well, look at those fuck-ups back in 2019, destroying the planet tree by tree. Or we can look back and say, man, we were learning a lot of stuff back then. We were growing. Because there's more to a tree than just what's above ground, you know? Got the roots, connecting all the trees together and all of that stuff. That's cool. So, when you're failing, and because this is the learning channel, life is the learning channel, enjoy that. Embrace that. Don't be a dick. But you're learning, you're growing. That's pretty cool. Okay, so lungs of Mother Earth. It's so much easier to sort of, wheeling it in when there's someone else talking, not just yourself. Lungs of Mother Earth. Mother Earth. Well, so mother is like the life giver. Where's dad in this picture? If mother is Earth. Who fucked Mother Earth? I don't know. Probably Uranus. That's a free joke. It's not the best of jokes. Mother, I guess, reflects on like more of a feminine quality. And I guess that's what, well, we often refer to God as like a male energy, the creator. Whereas the feminine energy is what, like the creative force that's being created. That's neat. I wish I had another clip from Rabbe. I don't even know. How can I figure out if people are watching this? Can I look on the interweb to see? I can see myself. It's confusing. Well, anyways, let's focus back on this. Yeah, I wanted to have a guest today. I can actually have people calling in. Oh. I'm not quite sure if Rabbe is actually on. How on earth do I actually cue him in? Oh, that was the sound I heard earlier. Rabbe, I'm so sorry. This technology is getting to the best of me. Because you're not still online, are you? You're just a frozen frame. Oh well. Well, that explains that mystery. What can we do to save the planet? Huh? Well, I guess I could start looking at myself. What can I do to make this a better place? How can I heal the world? This is turning into a Michael Jackson song. Well, that's kind of cool. I can heal the world by healing myself. I can heal myself by healing my wounds. And I think the best way to heal your wounds is to actually look at them. Check them out. It might be, if you have trouble walking and it turns out that you've gotten like splinters in your on the sole of your foot, and you need to get that splinter out. But in order to do that, you actually need to take a closer look, because it might be really, really small. So healing starts with looking at your wounds. And I think it's very important, again, to remember that your wounds are not symbols of your failure. It's tokens of your journey. Mental wounds. Rough stuff might have been happening. Oh, is he back? No. Maybe. This technology is this is 2019. I think Rabbe is on the train going to Lillehammer. Oh. Rabbe, are you online? Maybe not. Oh well. So I lost my train to Lillehammer of thoughts. Because when we're looking at our pasts, we tend to be embarrassed at our shortcomings and our failures. Later today, when I'm looking back at this episode, I'll be like, man, why did I not learn this setup better so that I'll be able to actually speak to Rabbe when he's calling in from the train. But I'm not sure I'm able to do that. Or I'm not even sure he is online. I'm online. You're online. We're aligned. So, back to the thing I was talking about, which was your wounds. The fire in the Amazon Well, we can look on it as sort of like a wound on planet Earth, Mother Earth. So she's learning. She's not failing. She's not failing us. She's not failing you. She's not failing me. You're not failing you. Or Mother Earth for that matter. But I think it's so important for us to remember this perspective that we're not a plague. Well, if Mother Earth is a mother, we are a child of Mother Earth. And mothers tend to love their children. Unconditionally, maybe some conditions will apply, depending on how much trauma Mother Earth has, how many wounds she has neglected to acknowledge is there. So, be true, man. Be true to yourself and to others. Well, that's gonna get you a long way to saving this forest that's on fire. Fire. I guess the key ingredient to a fire is oxygen. So, in a sense, whereas fire typically symbolizes, I don't know, death, destruction, maybe we can just shift it a bit. Shift it into good old rebirth. Good old reboot. Starting up again. A fresh start. But learning from your mistakes does not mean blaming yourself, hating yourself for what you failed to perform. It's a learning experience. Breathe. Enjoy. Have fun. Now, as the Wake Up Show is one of me and Rabus building blocks of our waking up empire. We went around on Friday pitching this concept as a live TV show. It was quite the experience. So we went to these different production companies in Oslo, 3 of them, and we showed our little pilot, and we talked about how we wanted to wake people up. Because obviously it's very comfortable sleeping in. You know, the bed, it's nice, comfortable, under the covers. Just 10 more minutes. The thing is with life, all you have to do is show up. And now sometimes showing up means actually staying in bed. Because you need to show up to that itch. That uncomfortable feeling that makes you not want to get up that morning. Investigate. What's this wound? What's this fine lesson I've learned? How can it help me grow? How can it make me a better mirror for people around me? Because you're a mirror as well, right? The man in the mirror. Or woman. Or horse. Or cat. Or snake. Snake, the snake in the Garden of Eden. The culprit. Right? It's the snake's fault. The blame game. Now the snake is not at fault. He's the catalyst. He's your greatest helper. Now, way back then, in the Garden of Eden, before you became conscious, things were sort of perfect, right? Ignorance is bliss. But we wanted to learn more. We wanted to grow. And to grow, we had to actually look into this good and evil thing. And we're learning. But we're always in the Garden of Eden. It is we who abolished ourselves because we felt we didn't deserve it. It's easy to put the blame on God, right? But God is but a mirror. Maybe a more ambiguous, not as concrete as your fellow man, but still a mirror. I think Rob is still on. It's fine. He'll be back next Monday. Because that's what we do. We show up. We try our best. We speak the truth. Yeah, that seems to be a good idea. And it is true that there is a fire in the Amazon forest. It's a big forest, so there's always going to be a fire somewhere, I guess. And some of them may be man-made. And these men or women might have made those fires for profit, for personal gain. But look at yourself. What do you do for profit? What do you do for gain? And where do you put these gains that you've acquired? Because it's, I don't know, I'm not big on football or soccer, but it seems to be a team sport. And life seems to be a team effort. Not only seems, it is. But there is no opposing team. We're all on the same team. And now here's the kicker. We're all winning. All of the time. By coming here, we won the jackpot. We got this experience. This unique, wonderful experience. Unlike any experience you've ever had before. Unless you're redoing this incarnation, which is also enjoyable if you know what I'm saying. Recap. Rerun. Now, I can see now at the clock, because I'm looking at the clock, I'm like, how long can I keep this going? Without my trusty other half. Or even the guests. Well, I can be guest then. So it's a pleasure to have you here in the Wake Up Show. Well, thanks. I don't know why you invited me, because I have nothing important to share. I'm just a insignificant speck on a small piece of rock that's hurling through space. Insert speed. I don't remember, because, well, who am I? Well, still, if we wanted to have you on, because we think you're We think you're an interesting character. We think you're important. Oh, wow. Someone outside of me thinks I'm important. Maybe I am. Or then again, maybe I'm not. Maybe I'm a poor little me. Maybe I am the virus. It's a free choice. Because I think we got it wrong what the whole concept of free will means. Because it seems to me that our actions are somewhat determined by the conditions in which we make these decisions to perform these actions. But it's how we interpret them. It's how we reference them. It's how, like, our perception is the whole. We have the freedom of perception. Are we learning or are we failing? Failing is learning. This is a good place. This is the Garden of Eden. This is heaven. It always was, and it always will be. And you're always invited. And you're always there at the party. As a Rob Bell quote. Yeah. Okay. We're at the point in the episode where I'm gonna present a quote that I find meaningful and profound, because there is a lot of wisdom out there. So I printed it out on a piece of paper, and I'm going to show it to you, my viewer, fellow human, or tree if you're watching tree. So the quote is as follows. So hold like that, maybe. Now, my good friend, if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make that change. Now, at the bottom it says Michael Jackson. And I have to investigate. Did Michael Jackson write this, or did someone write it for him? Either way, he sent it out into the world. And I know Michael Jackson was not a perfect human being. Nor am I or you. We're flawed. That's what makes us human. Because we're here to learn. And Michael Jackson, he learned some stuff. He made some mistakes. Are we going to judge him as a lesser human for being human? Or are we going to accept that this is the human experience is complex beyond our grasp, because we can't even fathom our own lives. Like, we can only do like bits at a time. Yeah, you're the change. You are Mother Earth. Even though you're a dude, you're feminine. You're both the feminine and the masculine, right? Can be both. Yeah. So gonna go back to the theme, the lungs. Remember to breathe. When things get rough, when you get caught up in the razzle-dazzle of life, when you become convinced of your own shortcomings, because they might be convincing, then breathe. Breath is key. Breath is life. And you're living, and you're thriving, and you're growing, and you're learning. And you're doing fine. You're good. Not perfect. Good. Never meant to be perfect. What would perfect look like, right? Nobody making any mistakes, everything just going smoothly. The smooth place, as we like to say here. Me and Rabbe, always looking for that smooth place. But we need some friction. We need life. Because we're learning. Yeah. I remember going to the shrink a couple of years back, and we were talking about, well, when you perform a task, you want it to be perfect, right? You want it to be as good as it can be. So you set your goal like, this is my goal. And then, because perfect is it's an impossible ideal. It's not even actually such a good goal, it turns out, but you end up down there. Like, you want it there, but you're here. And back then I was like, so I failed. Because I didn't make it. Like, it could be something as abstract as like building a wall. And I wanted the wall to look perfect, but it had some flaws. So it wasn't up there, it was down there. It was a wall. Not wall. But I judged myself and put myself in the failure bin. The thing is, it's not binary, right? It's got some more levels to it. And I was a very good perspective from my psychologist, talking about how we tend to see things in a very binary way. So it's either you've succeeded or you've failed. But there are infinite levels in between. And all of them are good. Even failing. So the wall was good. It was not perfect. It was good. You're good. And if you take out one of the O's, you're God. And if you're God, well, you better take some responsibility and fix that fucking forest. Because it's burning. It's a crisis, and we've created the crisis. We're not the problem. We're the solution. We're not the cancer that rides the earth. We're the butterfly. I love you guys. This was fun. And I promise I will either get Rabbe to be here the next time, he will, or I'll learn this high-tech stuff. And I didn't fail. I'm learning.
You've been listening to the Infinite Podcast with
Ulf Celebrity.
and me, Øystein Rabbe.
Thanks so much for listening. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast on iTunes, Spotify.
Yeah. And or on Facebook or...
Yeah, follow us on Facebook.
Yeah.
And also, we've now made a Patreon account.
Yes.
So if you like this podcast and would like to support us, go to Patreon and check out our Infinite podcast site there. Your support would
would make
really
it
appreciate
possible for us to make more podcasts. It takes a lot of time. We enjoy it so much to do it, but we also have regular jobs to pay the bills, and our dream is to be able to do this full time.
Yeah, this is our full time.
And we're taking baby steps towards that dream, and we want to make more episodes and continue to share it with you. So that would be great. Actually, I realized when we talk about it, we haven't even explained what Patreon actually is. So
it's like a support site where you can support a business or
artist or
an artist or whatever
creator that makes something
with I guess like monthly donations. Could be like from $1 and upwards.
Yeah.
Right. So anything would be great. We would be so thankful, and you would be thankful because we're doing this for you.
Yeah, and it actually gives it's a good feeling sometimes to actually help the things you care about. So if you're listening to us and you care about us, but I mean seriously, it's a good thing to contribute to the things that matters to you. So
that will
we're not asking you to pay unless you actually want to see this podcast grow and unfold into what it's about to become.
Infinite grace.